Hey, what's up, you guys? This is Bart coming to you from TST Industries in Florida. I have a new episode of TST Garage featuring our Yamaha MT-03. We are doing an install of TechSpec tank grips. This is a 7-piece kit. One goes on the tank. It's a center protector. You have one in your thigh area, two up here, and three more on the other side in the same mirror image locations. This is 2 pre-production sets. We were lucky enough to get hooked up by Dean from TechSpec with these pre-production units. I've already unpacked one here. I have a bunch of these guys ready to go. Surface is nice and dirty, so I'm gonna show you how to clean it properly before application. Let's get going. The agents I usually use are either denatured alcohol or high percentage content isopropyl alcohol. This is easier to source from a corner store or your pharmacy. This you'll find at a home improvement store. This stuff is very, very pure. I think it's like 99%. So as soon as you apply it, it removes the grease and evaporates. This stuff does have some water content. The lower the percentage you see here, the more water it will have. I've seen as low as 70 at the grocery store. So just read your agent before you apply it, and then you'll have to wait the appropriate time for everything to evaporate. Now let's talk about what to wipe it with. I do not use paper towels. They shed little whiskers behind and leave debris, and that breaks down our bond strength. There are these cheap shop towels that I've used for a while on different things, but these guys actually also shed and they leave debris behind. I found that a nice microfiber cloth that is new or washed, it doesn't really leave much behind, and this gives me the best possible outcome to one of these installations. So my magic solution here is denatured alcohol and my microfiber. I will just apply that here and here. This is where we will be applying our tank grips. I like to do it a few times, making sure that all of possible impurities on the surface come off. I want to make sure that there are no greasy or waxy substances left behind and that there is no debris left behind. You just want to make sure that surface is as clean as possible. Now, I talked about this being matte paint. You have to be a little bit more careful with matte paint because you want to get in those peaks and valleys. And I don't know if you guys can make this out on video, but there is a little bit of dirt coming off. So I'm doing good here. I'm doing the right thing. Do it third time. And now I'm just gonna let it evaporate. As you can see, this stuff comes off really quickly. If you're using something else, it may come off less quickly. Just make sure that it evaporates all the way before you start the application process. Now, we do have 7 components in this kit. We'll have to first choose what goes where. Center panel, I'll do that last. These guys, I like to hold them like so. And this goes here, so this will be put away. TechSpec logo upright so you can read it. It gives you a good idea which side that goes on. And again here, this one's a little tricky. Here we go. Okay. This one goes up here in this location. I would choose to start with this guy. All right, knock off any debris from the top. If you are doing this in wintertime or in a very cold area, this rubber actually reacts to heat in a way that it'll be pliable in our current 90-degree weather, but if you're doing this in the winter or a cold climate, this will be quite a bit less pliable. And we do have some surface inflections here that we need to get around and make sure that the bond sticks and doesn't want to lift off. So a stiff rubber here will be our enemy. If you are in a cold climate, please heat these things up using a hot air gun or something like that. Do not stick them in in the microwave, that's probably going to result in melted rubber. But either a hair dryer or something, make sure that they're pliable like you see here. All right. This is not really rocket science from this point forward. We do have body lines that we follow. So you can see here, this tank cover has this crease where this smooth surface comes over and chamfers. We will use that to align our pad, and this point will meet this point. So once you align those body lines with your leading edge of this pad, you'll see that you have a nice parallel line from the pad to the bottom of the tank cover. So we can actually start this now that we've determined where it's going. I'm going to peel back on it a little bit, expose the adhesive. I'm going to expose my leading edge top corner and also that corner that's going to meet here. This will be my starting point. Now, I don't peel back any more than that just yet. Once I get this aligned, I press down on my leading edge front corner and then just check, make sure that everything is still the way I planned. Now, I have my bottom edges parallel. The chamfered inflection here is working with how I'm applying it. So I'm gonna go in the middle of the crease and go outwards from there and just work my finger over this pad until it adheres in the area that I already took off the masking from. Then I will remove the rest of the masking. Notice I'm just using the edge here, my finger against it, not really putting a finger on the adhesive. We do not want to do that. It's looking good. So again, from the crease out, that's actually looking really sweet. In the past, I've templated these installations with blue painter's tape. Nowadays, I just follow what Mr. Dean at TechSpec shows me to do, and pretty successful. All right, I'm gonna grab a big socket, possibly use some sort of a roller or squeegee or something like that, but who's got that in their toolbox? Big sockets are definitely more prevalent, so that's what I use, and that's my roller. Just take care not to get over the paint area. All this extra pressure will ensure that you are actually squeezing the adhesive layer on the back of this pad into those little peaks and valleys in the matte paint. This will ensure that you have a nice long lasting bond here. All right, let's not get too OCD. All right, next up will be this guy, and I would just want to align it here. Leave maybe about 3 millimeters from the bottom edge, 3 from the trailing edge here, and go up to this rounded point. We're actually going to start from that rounded point. So I'm going to strip off a little bit here, expose about 2.5 inches. And then I'm going to align all those other edges I just mentioned, so that when the front falls down and adheres, I know I have proper alignment in the back here. Again, we do experience a creased surface here. That is where we're going to start applying pressure and go outwards from there. Strip off the rest of the masking. And on this one, I'm just going to guide it a little bit along the bottom, making sure that the edge sticks where I need it to. And then the back. And now we can work that surface against surface. And this is looking really good. Now, we've actually tested these pads in the theoretical stage. We had a couple different designs going. We just needed to make sure that a person over 6 feet tall and a person under 5'5" can take advantage of the right surfaces for grip. And I think we've done that really well. and TechSpec guys executed that really well. Go roll over, and we'll skip to the next pad in just a moment. All right, last one. There we go. How are we gonna apply this guy? Definitely want to make it look very analogous with how we applied all the other ones. I like to make sure that this top edge is kind of parallel with this top edge. They are not flat edges, they're not lines, but you can align them in a way that the curves sort of one flows into the next, and at the same time you end up with the same gaps in the forward section, making it all look good. So for this one, I'm gonna choose to start here in this corner because this is my most critical alignment point. I'm gonna strip off this amount, exposing a corner and an edge. And now I'm gonna carefully place this so it satisfies that criteria that I just talked about. And if I place this flat here, this curve flows into this curve. We have a proper gap here, and all plays nicely, and I'm happy with it. So I'm gonna make sure that the trailing area here is adhered. Strip off the rest of the masking. And basically follow the same procedure we've done on the other pads. All right, now this is looking good. I'm 6 feet tall. When I'm in here, my knee is right around pretty much at the end here. I can anchor in really nicely, and I have a lot of surface to move about and still get grip. So I'm really happy with this set. What I'm gonna do is just basically do the same exact thing on the other side of the bike, and then we're going to talk about what to do about the tank protector. All right, we're pretty much down to the last component here. We have the center tank pad. I've done a rough clean on the tank here. As you can see, we do have this MT line symbol sticker in the way. I'm not the kind of dude that actually uses these. I really don't worry about my belt buckle hitting this. I typically wear a suit when I go ride, but if damaging the tank is a concern for you, I would urge you to actually apply this on here. I know you guys are going to be tempted to put it here so that the bottom lines up with the bottoms of these side ones. I think that is a bad idea. I'll tell you why. We have continuity of surface here, and it does inflect in this direction. Then you have an inflection, curvature change here into a similar surface that inflects towards the front. So you basically have two cupping surfaces like that, bent. That will actually put a lot of force on the interfacing adhesive bond. And I don't care how hard this adhesive works, over time, with the heat fluctuations, with mechanical forces acting on this from you sliding against it, this will start coming off. So my recommendation is, if you are going to use this, use it up here above this fillet line where the radiused meeting line ends. That actually ends up coinciding with the sticker. I am going to apply this because I want to do a full installation for you guys. So for that purpose, I'm going to get rid of this sticker. I know it's a new bike, may be controversial to get rid of stickers that look nice and identify this as a member of the MT line, but it's more practical to get rid of it and replace it with my grippy sticker. Should probably use some fancy tool for this, but I'm going to try to do it commando-like. Actually comes off pretty easy. I think I just got lucky. All right, Let's give it a thorough clean. If there's any adhesive left behind from that sticker, you want to remove it now. It'll be difficult to get there afterwards. Again, give it ample time to off gas, depending on what you're using. I'm going to give mine about a minute. Let's start with the bottom. I think that's going to be the easiest to align. The creases between the side surface and the top surface are a nice guide. You can actually eyeball it pretty nicely, and then the center here coexists with the center screw in your gas cap. Once you get that aligned, you peel up on the masking and complete the job. All right, let's roll this thing. And my favorite part of these installations is coming up next. You guys won't get to experience it with me, but I'm gonna go take this thing for a ride. And we're done with the installation. Now I'm up to my favorite part. I'm gonna go take this thing out for a rip. Love these things. I know that if you guys are looking for increased control over your motorcycle and you want your motorcycle to inspire confidence in your ride, this is a very inexpensive and good way to get that accomplished. If you like what you see, check out tstindustries.com. You could find the product page for this, read some more info about the technology behind it, see what compounds are available, and pick them up online. We also have a multitude of other parts in the catalog for this bike and other bikes you may have in your garage. So hopefully you'll stop by and we'll see you there. tstindustries.com. Ride safe. Later.